Well, you know, still Democrats expect to pound their economic message tonight, but will this email dump distract voters from that message? To Sabrina Schaefer and Joe Trippi. And Joe, you know, I got to tell you, from everything I've read, that looks like Rick Grinnell to me. But Sabrina, let me go to you first. From everything that I've read, Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to be taken out of this thing, kicking and screaming, and President Obama had to give her a phone call. So, you know, it's interesting to me that she's letting herself become such a major distraction, but I've always thought she was out there.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, Charles. Of course, we thought all of these kinds of distractions were going to be at the RNC last week, so it's interesting to see it happening at the DNC this week. Of course, I think what we're all interested in is how this is going to actually affect voter turnout in November. And the question is, will this new information simply make people who are anti-Hillary dig their heels in deeper and say, well, there's no way I would ever vote for her? Or is it going to have an impact on those who are sort of on the fence? Is it going to be enough to say, you know, she really is more dirty politics, business as usual here in Washington? And that's what we're going to have to sort of wait and see to see if she's able to dig herself out of this mess. And it is a mess this week.
It is a mess. It's not the way they wanted to start off, Joe. And it seems to me that why would she even make herself the center of attraction like this? If she had a great opportunity Sunday to bow out and go away, she's making it a lot worse for a candidate.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. She should have bowed out immediately once this happened. And there, you know, Terry McAuliffe, the governor of Virginia, said if he was chair, he would have fired the people involved immediately within 5 minutes. So there's clearly, you know, the day did not start out the way Democrats would want it to. I do think that in conventions where you have this kind of a schism, the first day is the most important day to get, you know, there's going to be fighting, there's going to be, you know, votes, those kinds of things, heckling. The opposition is going to speak. So what you try to do is get that all out of the way on the first day.
Something so words, you know there's going to be scandals, so you schedule it for the first day.
Yeah, no. What I mean by that is, like when Cruz spoke on the third day or so of the convention, you don't do that. You have Cruz speak on day one, Monday, like Bernie is doing, right, in case he goes off script. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. Look, I'm not going to try to make eliminate out of a lemon here. It's, you know, there's a problem, but I think what you're going to see is, can you turn the page by the time Michelle Obama speaks tonight? Maybe, hopefully, you have. Right. Everybody stay on script and then turn to positive into the narrative, Trump versus Clinton, right, the rest of the way.
Well, there's no doubt the stage is set for that because they need it big time, even more so than coming in. By the way, big Democratic donor guys, Don Peoples telling us that, quote, in light of recent disclosure of internal DNC conspiracy to sabotage Bernie Sanders' campaign, I will not be attending the DNC convention this week. Although I am not a supporter of Bernie Sanders, I am a very strong supporter of fair play. There is no room in our party for rigging elections. Wow, that's deep stuff, guys. By the way, Donald Trump getting into this post-RNC bump, getting a big post-RNC bump. In fact, a real big one from one national poll showing him with a 3-point lead over Hillary Clinton. It's a lot larger when you add all the candidates in. Remember, he was down 7 points just earlier this month. Sabrina, Trump's economic message, is that resonating, or the negative part of this poll for Hillary Clinton looked extraordinary? Is it a combination of both?
I think it's a combination. Look, Charles, if he did not get a bump, that would have been very concerning for the GOP. He had sort of command of the media for a whole week. He was able to frame the debate exactly as he wanted. He was on television almost 24 hours a day, or his spokespeople were. So we absolutely should expect a bump. The question will be now, you know, how is he going to be able to sustain it now that the DNC is going to have their convention? And Hillary Clinton is apt to present many more sort of concrete policy reforms that people, again, in the middle may be sort of inclined to support. So I think it's going to take a lot of work. You know, a convention is only sort of a temporary bump in the polls from my perspective.
I got to tell you, though, Joe, this is an impressive bump for Donald Trump, particularly after that Thursday night speech when the mainstream media all came to the conclusion that it was too dark for Americans and that they would actually reject him. It looks like so far they're embracing that message.
No, you're right, Charles. I mean, when you look at it, historically, the average Republican bump after a convention has been 4.9 points. Trump's gotten a 6-point bump. So he's actually performing above average bounce out of that convention. The problem for the GOP traditionally has been historically that Democrats get about a 6-point bump, a point or two bigger bump than Republicans do out of their convention. There's no explanation for that. It's just been the historical fact. So we'll see. Does Hillary Clinton hit average or above average too? If so, we'll be right back. Believe it or not, we'll be right back where we were before these two conventions started.
Although, you know, it's interesting. It's sort of like golf, right? You know, sometimes they say the person who gets a tee off first has the advantage unless they have a bad shot. Well, this one right there was right down the fairway, you know, and he's got a chip in, it looks like. Sabrina, I got to tell you, it's the whole thing, obviously, the pundits have been wrong from the very beginning to even their day-to-day analysis. And you have to wonder, when you have a guy like Don Peoples, who in the New York area is resonating. He's dropped hints about even running for mayor of New York City. Principled politicians, maybe it's an oxymoron, but you've got more and more of them coming out on both sides of the aisle saying they don't want any parts of it. You think that's also making this thing very confusing?
Oh, it absolutely is, and I know that there's a lot of pollsters who are sort of hitting their head against the wall right now because they think it's going to go right up until November, until we figure out who's going to win this thing. But we have to remember, if we sort of look back over the course of the year, that the big theme of this campaign is establishment versus non-establishment. So it's interesting that now, right up at the convention, now we're still having this fight, and there's a sort of calls for Bernie Sanders to take back his endorsement of Hillary Clinton. We saw that there were a lot of prominent Republican lawmakers who were not at the convention last week in Cleveland. So I think that this theme persists, and we're going to see it all the way up until Election Day.
All right, Sabrina and Joe, thank you both very much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.